Hello, welcome to my channel. Continuing with my July 2024 wrap-up of my Fanfiction Reading Journal. If you've seen my first Fanfiction Journal video for my June wrap-up, you know I read mostly Draco Hermione fanfictions of the Harry Potter series. So this first review spread I'm working on is a fanfiction titled Clean, a 31-chaptered fic, quite an enjoyable read. Took me 3 days to finish this story. I enjoyed this story because of the Ron-Hermione relationship existence. Kind of dislike Ron bashing in most Dramione fics. But as a former RHR shipper, I love how the author handled Ron in this. You kind of feel for him. So yeah, AI generated images are what I use for my fanfiction journal. Since there are not really any book cover designs to use like those standard book reading journals, aren't there? I know there are some fans who oppose to anything AI, but I love these generated images. Love to see the actors in the scenes of the fic as I imagined them. Of course, I love the development of Dramione relationship in this story. Not too slow a burn. The intensity between the two of them is to be applauded for. I love how the author wrote their scenes together. Starts off with the two of them being partnered up for potions project by Professor Snape, no less. I like to indicate the index number of the fanfiction reviewed on my spreads. Oh, and I mainly give only 2-page reviews to just multi-chaptered fics, by the way. They have the most to talk about. Giving this fic a 4-star, minus that 1 star because I do feel Draco would not have been that free in his 6th year. And yeah, I also like the teacher-student rapport Hermione shares with Snape. Don't know if the potion master could ever be that nice with his know-it-all student. But it played out well in the story.
Saturday.
Now, this second story I'm working on is actually the sequel of the previous fanfiction I reviewed, titled Marked. I just felt the first story had an incomplete ending and just had to read the sequel to satisfy my curiosity. And what a sequel it was. Definitely a lot more going on. It's a longer fic this time, 39 chapters long. Took me 4 days to finish the entire story. This one has more characters involved, an alternate take to the last book, starting with Theodonot as the third main character, whose loyalty for Draco is admirable. Oh, by the way, my personal fancast for Theodonot is Timothy Chalamet, but many others fancast him as Regulus Black, so I'm still trying to adapt to that. As I've said on my previous video, I seldom give 5-star ratings. The reason for the 4-star rating for this story was that I felt a little bit disappointed with the anticlimax. It's creative, yeah, but I thought it didn't serve the purpose of all those build-up. A good sequel, yes, just not what I expected. And that's the index number. True and true, overall, I felt this fic is rather too, I don't know, overwhelming. Too much going on. But kudos to the author for making it all thought out. No confusion, but still overwhelming. For those other fanfictions I decided to review, I'll lay them out like this. Just a simple template. By the way, I used the Corpal system to star rate my ratings. Thought I wanted it to be thorough. Set up a calculator on my Numbers app on the iPhone. Using AI generated images again for these reviews. I don't care what other fans have to say about using AI. I personally really love to see the actors enacting the fanfiction scenes. So there's that. That there about the only non-Harry Potter fanfiction I reviewed. Some decoratives as fillers for the spaces. Coloring those fanfictions that I reviewed on my reading log spreads. Wrote my monthly favorite quote here. Gonna use this sized up square unpeeled sticker to cover it. Carefully tape that to make a flat window for some fun, simple interactivity. Gonna go pie chart for my monthly stats prep. Generated the pies using Microsoft Excel. Then use this trace table app as a light box. Make sure the center of the circles are in line. Then trace the sections up. Coloring them up with color pencils. I prefer to do these charts manually, so yeah. And time for a flip through. I feel like in July I got a bit too busy to read a lot. Even my DNFs did not pass 10, but I almost finished my third reading log page. So that's an A+. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I thank you for watching up till here. So happy journaling and bye bye.